let's move on with that coordination we have scheduled. Okay.
Great.
Take care.
Okay, nice. Thanks for the info.
Bye bye.
Okay, stream is live.
So stream is live and running already?
Yeah, I need to grab the link.
You share the link with me, Werner.
Link is in the chat now. So let's wait a few more minutes and then we
governance
should start. Yeah, in governance discussion.
Cool. Amazing. I'm just sharing it on Twitter.
I think you just shut off your sharing.
Philo, what happened?
I pushed the wrong. Actually, I just pushed the wrong button. I pushed Discord instead of Twitter. So double time Discord, it kicks me out. Yeah, great news from Signa. I really like this project. They're doing really a little bit unnoticed, a lot of good stuff in agriculture in Canada. Hope we get a nice info tweet from Gianfranco. Okay, let's see who's everybody in holiday in the moment, huh? Middle of August, middle of
Have you pinged
summer.
already? Maybe you should ping first.
Yeah, I pinged like before 2 hours ago. Okay, I give him one more ping in the channel. Oh, are you Greg? Oh no, Greg. Yeah, Greg's here. Yeah. How was the market open? Hello. We have Mark with us. Great. So what do you guys think? A couple more minutes and
Yeah, let's wait 2 or 3 more minutes so everyone can
2 or 3 minutes.
find in. If you don't. I'm just gonna put a timestamp in the description when it starts, I think. Max is listening via YouTube.
Hello everybody.
Ah, that's already a little more here.
Yeah, that's fine. People showing up slowly, slowly. We are not in a rush. We are not in a hurry.
Yeah.
Good. And as always, I made a short little agenda. This is nothing fixed. This is just some ideas about what we would and what we could talk about, but it's always for everybody free. Bring up topics if there is something you are interested in to know. If there is important stuff that you think we need to talk about and we haven't talked about it yet, just speak up and yeah, we'll find solutions. Yes, now more. Oh, Doralf, hello.
Okay, let's get it going now.
Yes, that's like we have now 4 full rows of people. Yeah. Okay, so I say good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. Welcome to our community governance call, our happening every second week. Nice, good timing, I think, for everybody now that we can have always every 2 weeks a nice talk about all things that happen around governance in IOTA, in our ongoing project, in our ongoing attempt to get people to enable voting in IOTA, let's say like this, and everything else that follows after this. Maybe we will start with a slow and short recap of what we have been talking 2 weeks ago, because like this 2 weeks is always, there's a lot of new people I see also, so there's a little back info. Last call, we were mainly talking about the way we can create proposals for voters. Werner explained his release for comment, his document that he created that describes mainly how the outer format of the data structure of the proposal, so how long it should be, how many options would be allowed, how many bytes size the proposal could have and stuff like this. And also that described the endpoints that could be used by the Hornet plugin to count those votes and to display these votes to users and to everybody that would be interested, and especially for node operators. And we had some other random topics, and we always made nicely progress. We showed some vote flow, how it would look in the Firefly, and we discussed mainly of how to progress in the design attempt and in the way we want users to vote. We did a few decisions also, kind of. We brought up the topic of how to make it possible to send at different times from different addresses to reduce a bit the traceability. But in the moment, it seems we will be okay with leaving this manual to the users that want to split up or split out their funds a bit. To not make it too complicated for normal users that maybe don't have so much funds and just want an easy and quick option of voting without too much complicated things behind. But we will make it possible to do this manually, definitely. Some questions already about those points from last week, or should we try to get something going of some new stuff? Everybody happy? Amazing. So what should we talk about today? Again, it's we should maybe start with Firefly voting. It's some nice progress in the last 2 weeks. We had some talks with the IF team. We had some talks with Firefly team. Now, finally, after they luckily and happily released ledger upgrade, so there was finally time to clear up some questions that we had. It's mainly about how we can make it possible to integrate proposals into Firefly. So for the first vote and then maybe ongoing votes, we envision a way of that is making use of GitHub. GitHub is who doesn't know it, GitHub is an open source website tool. Actually, it's mainly used from all the open source software programs, and it enables people to release and comment and approve software or any other things. And we want to use this to propose things that people can vote on. And this will go through a process on GitHub called pull request. People can discuss this pull request. They can comment on it, and those pull requests will only be moved forward in the process if they reach approval from people that have the rights to approve this. And this is how we envision, because GitHub also enables API. That's a kind of software port for Firefly and also for the Hornet nodes. And from this API port, it would be possible that Firefly and also the nodes read the proposals and implement them into the front end where the people actually see it. Yeah. So for us, it's always the difficult way is like how, when you open your Firefly wallet and there's a new proposal or there is something to vote on, how does Firefly get this information that there is a vote out? And how is Firefly able to show you this information? And this seems to be a nice way in GitHub to do it on this way. As long as we don't have smart contracts, this might be the way for us to go. Because the first thing is it's all open source. So it's visible for everybody what's happening there. There's no way of tampering with any data or changing anything without somebody recognizing it and approving it. So it's a nice, secure, and commonly used way of publishing software. So also the Firefly wallet, all the IOTA software releases, they all happen in GitHub. So it's a established and secure way of publishing data. Questions so far? I don't want to get into a big monologue, but maybe I'll on and show you. Let me see. Yes. Yeah, so we will be able to do API calls. So if something would be proposed, it could first start as a draft, and there is also a possibility to discuss this draft. You can discuss it here in the Discord channels. You can discuss it directly in GitHub. There's a forum in GitHub where people could ask questions, and we can discuss all the details. Changes can be requested there, and so then the proposal can also be changed until it's ready to be released and to merge. And GitHub has something that's called the master branch, and this is like the final version of software, and releases normally shows up after it has been approved and checked by different people. There are also software checks possible that kind of check if there is if the code is correct, if there is some bugs or stuff like this. And so from this master branch, as soon as it is checked and everybody agrees that this is the correct version of a proposal and all the steps and all the text and everything in the proposal is correct, we could release it to the master branch, and then the nodes and Firefly could call this master release and implement this into the wallet, and the nodes can implement it for counting. And another nice thing, the IF has developed a tool that automatically, as soon as something is merged as a release into this master branch, that automatically creates a secure hash of this code or of this data and posts this as a transaction into the Tangle. So this is something that we envisioned also for making it possible to validate that proposals are correct, because if you have the hash of a proposal, and you can always check that the thing that you implement into your node also you implement and untap, so it's a nice way for us to do it. Let me see. This I created a bit to make it a little bit clearer how it would happen. Yeah, so you would have the proposal owner, let's say for the first vote for the build or burn, this actually will be somebody of us from the community, somebody that is handling the GitHub. So for the first vote, we would use the outer data structure of the RFC that was created by Werner. We will write all the important things inside. So the question, so what do we want to do with the tokens? Do we want to build something? Do we want to burn them? And then we would propose it as a draft proposal. Everybody can comment on it. And as soon as everybody's happy with it, we'll merge it, and then we will have people let it check. Let's say we will have Maxa, and we will have Ralph, and we will have a few people from security side on IF, or a lot of knowledgeable people can double check that everything is correct. And only if all those people have approved that the proposal is correct, it will be released into the master branch. And then there is something called GitHub action. That's an automated process by GitHub that will create a release, and this release can be read out by the API of Node and the API of Firefly. Okay. Any questions on this?
Two things. First of all, Max just said in chat, you should call it main branch instead of master branch.
Yeah, that's nice.
Can you hear me?
So that's how we envision. We will have another meeting tomorrow with the IF, where we will go a little bit more into the technical details of this thing. There are still some open questions because Charlie is also in holiday in the moment, but we have Uma here that supports us, and all the people in IF are very excited about the ongoing voting and the possibilities that we create. And so we have a big support from the IF in several sectors of our community attempt here. This was this is the main logic that we envisioned for the Firefly voting. We have discussed this already like 2 or 3 times. It is in the document is in the governance channel and also in the Google Drive. So if you want to have a deeper look into this, again, this is all public available, and you can check in on that. Something really nice and new, and I thank Andrew Brook and Janis Vergis from IF, from the UX and the UI team, because last time we showed you what the team of Adam created in a fast attempt of showing some visuals how it could look in the Firefly team. And because Firefly is a product of the IOTA Foundation, the IOTA Foundation would like to support us there and making this voting as beautiful and as user-friendly as possible. So some people from the UI and UX team of the foundation have created some ideas of how the voting could look in Firefly. And so I'm happy that I can show a few of these templates in the moment. Yeah, so that's You see your voting power that is related, that is your token holdings. You would be nice, we can have a kind of a graphic showing during the vote of how many votes are already alive and how many votes have been casted. We can give all the info about the upcoming votes, which kind of, this is, you see, this is already a possibility. Even if we have more proposals later on, this would be even possible to use it if we create a DAO or a real treasury liquid democracy system with a lot of different proposals. They can all be showed here in Firefly, and this would be possible if Firefly is just using the API and reading it out of GitHub. What else? Yeah, so you can also, this would be text, because we envision that proposals can have several questions, several options, and it would be possible to explain this here a little bit more. But also we will definitely kind of need a website. We can use also GitHub for this and build a website out of GitHub with more technical explanations and more information about every single proposal, so that it's not only in Firefly. So you can click a link and you will get linked to the information about this ongoing proposal and more background info. Yeah, and here you have the option that you can cast your vote. You just click, actually, you click a button. You can decide how many tokens you use. And yeah, some nice graphics to show how is the voting process, how many people have voted for this and for the other option. This will all be possible to display in Firefly, we hope.
Who created this?
You can choose your accounts. This would be just your wallets. Yeah, like we discussed the last couple of times already. We want people to be able to use as much as funds as they like. So you can decide which of your wallets you want to use, which one you want to have still available if you want to send funds to your friends in a couple of days and something. So it's free for you to choose how much of your voting power you really want to use in a vote. And just for everybody to be clear again, you will not need to send your funds away from your wallet. You will not lose control over your tokens if you vote with IOTA. You will be able every time during the vote to change your vote, to remove tokens out of the vote, and the tokens will never leave your wallet and they will never leave your control. The only thing you do to vote is you send a transaction to yourself, and you are all the time fully in control of all your funds. There's nothing else that you need to do than push 2 or 3 buttons and then wait 1 or 2 weeks until the vote is finished and you will get the results. And if you want to change your mind in between, or you need to send your tokens all the way to an exchange, you are free to do this, and there's no blocking or locking or anything else that happens with your funds. Questions? I have talked already 20 minutes. Come on, people.
Can you hear us? I'm not sure you can hear us. I cannot hear us.
Build this system. This is not going to happen, let's say, out of thin air. Yeah. So what we will need is, we will need a few people that. I don't hear you. Maybe. Okay. Good idea. I should not mute the tab that I'm using. Okay, cool. Okay, talk. This was the IOTA Foundation UX and UI team. So this is Janis Vergis. He's one of the designers in the foundation. This Yeah. This is all really, this is the first attempt, and that's like nothing fixed, but this is like, it's not about the technicals, it's more about the visual approach, because the UI and the UX team are really, their main focus is on making Firefly look beautiful and make the user experience of voting really nice and easy for everybody. And so there are still, don't focus too much on what is written there. Some things are maybe only placeholders, but the cool thing is that they will help us to make it really user-friendly and make it also look really beautiful and in line with the Firefly design.
I have a question, like, does it matter how many tokens I pledge for my vote, or is it not really an issue?
Yes, your voting power is related to the tokens you have, first of all, and then the tokens that you decide to use for a vote. Let's say you
Okay.
have 100. Say you have 100 MIOTA. You can decide to use all this 100 MIOTA for a vote. You create the vote with your opinion, and then we will have also a holding period, because we want people to, we want to avoid some, let's say, some shady tactics of would be possible if you just vote and then 1 hour later it's counted and you can move your tokens away. This would invite actors to maybe lend huge amounts of tokens on the open market just for influencing the vote. So we envision a holding period of 1 week, 2 weeks, maybe 10 days, something like this. And your voting power will build up during this time. So it starts actually when you just vote, and then only if you hold your tokens on this address the whole time that is defined, you will gain the full power of your vote. So we are still have not decided how long this would be, but I think what I feel the main thing is something about maybe 2 weeks or 10 days. And this will eliminate some really bad practices that happen in a lot of other protocols where you have really short voting times. People that have, let's say, a lot of cash on the side can use this cash to try to buy votes, to buy short a lot of tokens, vote, and then sell it back to the market. And this is something we want to avoid. And most IOTA people anyway are holders. You're not using your tokens every day, sadly, yet. And so you just vote and you keep it there and leave it for 2 weeks, and then amount of tokens you hold will create the full voting power of you.
Okay, you mentioned something like, sorry, you mentioned one thing like the tokens never really leave my address, right? So if I vote like 200 MIOTAs, I will send them to myself and pledge them to the vote, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Excellent.
You can also send your tokens away at any time. So they're not
Okay, this is what I wanted to ask. Okay.
Yeah, I already thought that was your question. So
Okay.
maybe to explain it to some people who are not aware of the process, to vote you send your tokens from each of your address to yourself. So you send address A, you make a transaction to address A again, address B, you make a transaction to address B, and so on. And in this transaction you specify what you are voting for. And as long as you don't spend this transaction, your voting rate will go up. If you spend it, you will have to vote again with the remainder. So if you say you have 100 MIOTA and you send 10 away, even if the 90 MIOTA is still on the same address, if you I think Firefly doesn't do that. But in any case, you would have to vote again because sending tokens basically it removes the vote and you will not gain any more voting power from the vote transaction.
Okay, got it. So I have to vote
Okay,
again then. Okay.
I have a follow-up question on that. I haven't been part of the discussions yet, so sorry if this was answered already. What if there are two votes running at the same time that I'm interested in? Can I vote on two at the same time with the same funds?
Yeah, you have the payload you send supports multiple referenda at once. But
okay, and what if I... Okay, gotcha.
So you can write multiple data for multiple proposals in this payload. Every proposal is identified by a unique ID, and also every option or every opinion that you choose will have a unique ID. And with your vote, you write all this information into your address, and the Node plugins will be able to read all this information out and separate it from each other and pledge it to the proposals and count it.
Okay, thank you.
One question from my side to Thoralf, maybe. Can't wallet RS be done in a way that if you have an ongoing voting and you voted already, but then you want to send out some funds, so basically you destroy that UTXO, but wallet RS still knows that you voted for something. So maybe it can automatically send the funds back to such a voting transaction with the same settings as before, but with less coins. So that it's done automatically and without user interaction.
Would be a nice feature that so the user don't need to do this revoting again.
Yeah.
basically it's just a second transaction from the remainder address where you send your tokens to yourself.
Yes. But the thing is, Firefly or Wallet RS has to remember that, so I don't know.
Yeah, I think Thoralf tries to speak. He's unmuting and muting himself, but it's not working.
I reloaded
no.
the page, now it works. Data is there because we store the messages, and it would be possible, but we can also do it on the Firefly level.
Yeah, it depends. Depends on your design. What's best for you, I guess. I think it doesn't have to be in the wallet because it's a high-level function. So it doesn't have to be in Wallet RS, but maybe it's in Firefly.
But we have all messages with the data, so can do that.
I actually sense a problem with that, and when a user is using Ledger, because they have to confirm this extra transaction on their Ledger. So I don't know if I think you would need at least a pop-up in the wallet that tells, otherwise the user goes like, hey, wait, there's some transaction being requested, a request which I don't made, help, I'm hacked, or something like that. So,
yeah, I think that can be done.
so I would actually say we should put it on wallet level and maybe give the first time the user sends a transaction, maybe there's a quick pop-up like, you have sent your tokens, do you want to
but even on the wallet level, the user has to do the same thing with Ledger, and I wouldn't blow up a library like Wallet RS just because we are doing something on high level.
Something maybe we can discuss tomorrow in the call with Umayyar.
Yeah.
Let's see how the Firefly team would approach this. I'm sure if it's possible from Wallet RS side, then there's also a solution in Firefly maybe. So even if it's maybe easier in Firefly because Firefly handles the ledger logic directly, so this could be maybe even smoother handled from the Firefly.
Yeah, it's definitely solvable. So it's just a matter of design and how, also in terms of user experience, how you want to integrate it. But we definitely need a pop-up in Firefly because users are using ledgers, and if there's some transaction requests which are not clearly, where it's not clear where they're originating from, it will just cause chaos and lots of users in the help channel.
But I think that's an UI UX thing that with a clever logic and a clever display logic, users will understand what's going on. I think if it's technically possible, then there will be a solution. Okay, we have some more questions on this. We still have some new people maybe here. So if there's still something unclear, if we should repeat something, how the voting works, speak up, no problem. Okay, so another thing that we had been a bit of in talks already in the moment is see, time is passing by, and as nothing is going as fast as envisioned. But still, to make this happening, we don't want to. We maybe also cannot block resources from the IOTA Foundation, and this is a community-driven project, and so we envision some serious development from the community on this project, and so we think it will be needed to define a kind of team of people that really work seriously on implementing these solutions now. Because having these calls is nice, and it's amazing that we decide and we talk about all the options. But now as Ledger is available, hopefully soon big exchanges will be available. So the time actually for making this vote possible is coming. And so we envision to have a few dedicated people working on this software development. We have already some talks with some interested community developers that would put time and effort and manpower into this and work together with the Firefly team mainly to make this happen. Yeah, that's mainly for designing the Firefly system of voting, and maybe also do some front end for website, for displaying proposals and things like this. And I just wanted actually to hear the opinion of the community if this is okay. And actually, I mean, it's needed. We need people doing this stuff. Because we are all busy in our normal jobs. People have not much time, but we have a few serious software developers that would be available in the community to do this. They have come up and they have offered their service in working together with the Firefly team, like supporting and giving advice, but doing the hard work. We need people to do this. So the question is the community happy that some community developers take this approach that we have talked about in the last 3 months and the solutions that are created here and start building this as a Firefly plugin that will make it possible for you all and every IOTA holder to vote as soon as possible, because I think we all would like to have a first decision if we will be able to use the treasury fund, because then the hard work really starts, because then we will have to really work on creating a treasury management system, be it a DAO, be it a liquid democracy, be it whatever. This is still not decided. But we need a tool to make the voting possible, and this tool is Firefly. The Firefly team of the IF has not the time, and it's also not, I think, in our absolute interest that everything is always done only by the IF. And so there are a few people that have come up and that would like to do it, and so I think are qualified. They will introduce themselves, and then community could agree to give this in the right hands.
So I think this is, I mean, it's critical for this to happen. So we need a core team to get this going, one that can act with that and become efficient, and to drive the first deliverables so that we can actually have our initial vote. And if we don't do that, nothing will get done. We're already 3 months into this, right? So I think it's really important.
Same for me. And I mean, I would definitely also, I'm not a developer, but I'm spending a lot of time in this. I will try to help wherever possible. But yeah, the people that they are not here because they have a sick kid. So normally they would have maybe been able to introduce themselves, but maybe we can do this next week or in the next call. But also this is still a call for everybody else. Yeah, if you are a community developer and if you would like to contribute work into creating the system, speak up, contact us, send me a PM or something. There's a lot of work to do, and yeah, but we really think that it's time now to start working on this, because the technical things are mainly cleared out. There are some details still to discuss. Everything seems solvable, and everything seems kind of ready to start building something, and that's what we want to do.
Is there a need like for a Flutter development? Maybe like for mobile or Windows? I'm not sure if you're using this framework at all, but I just want to ask.
In contact with him, we will not be able, I think, because mobile is still quite away. First, we will need the mobile version of Firefly. So for the first vote, maybe not yet, but if we reach our goal to make it possible to use the treasury, then we will have months of development, and then also we'll need to make an implementation in the mobile wallet. Drop me a PM. Let's see what we can do. Always really happy of everybody that likes to contribute into this.
Okay, will do.
Maybe to like outline the current process. We are pretty much final with the specifications. All we have to do now is have a talk with the Firefly team to get their opinion on our proposals. And I think if the Firefly team is happy with what we are doing in general and we agree on, yeah, we're doing it that way, then we could actually start building stuff in the next weeks already.
I have a lot of green lights already from, like, didn't have a lot of time before because Ledger was priority, but first talks was already, most of the things that we envisioned are full in line with what Firefly team would also do. They're very impressed with what the community has come up out of themselves, yeah, in the last couple of weeks and months, and so we have the full support from their side in all technical questions. They will always be available to help and also put some work here and there. But if we can do this out of a community-driven initiative, this would be the best and the most amazing way.
It's almost a requirement that it needs to be a community effort. You know, just this is about community. It's community decision, building a community, a community that it can actually stand on its own and operate, and eventually will run the DAO. So having a core team that can do some development work to service the community is, crucial. I don't even see an alternative. So I'm all for it.
And I mean, this is some kind of natural process. Yeah, you are all. Not everybody is a developer here. Not everybody is really able to do this. We have a big community of skilled people, and if they have time in the next couple of weeks and months to really work on that, we should use these skills and build up experience in this. It's still an ongoing process, and we will do it as we did it all the time. We use the channels, we use the calls to clear up the development with the community and inform everybody what's going on. But just from talking, nothing will happen. So yeah, in a stage where we are really confident that we can start building this thing. Okay, what else? Maybe there was another topic coming up a bit, and I think it's also minimum similar important, because as we start talking about building this plugin and making a vote possible, we need voters. We need people to vote. We need IOTA token holders to be informed about the vote, to be informed about the options, and really to reach not only our small Discord bubble here with 250 people and our Twitter followers. There are a lot more people out in the world and a lot more communities that may have not even heard something about that we will have this amazing opportunity coming up. And so we'll really need to start promoting vote and promoting the options and promoting the opportunities and get the word out, because we see it with everything. We see it with Chrysalis migration, with Ledger migration. A lot of people that hold IOTA, and they are really not closely following the project like we. They maybe even only once a month, every second month, check what's going on in the IOTA, maybe just open their Firefly wallet or check on their ledger if everything is there. And so we need to reach these people because we need their votes. So we need to kind of think about how we reach out to them. So IF has offered the support here. We have an amazing design team. We have Sabri. I had already talked with Sabri about creating kind of a brand marketing thing, some designs, some visual approaches, because if it looks beautiful and it's coming from IOTA, the people will be interested in it, yeah. And so I think we can leverage on this experience, and I think the IOTA design team is amazing. They do great stuff. But also we want this not be an IOTA design thing, so we need to kind of come up with an individual branding and an individual design strategy. And Sabri is already creating some ideas, and I think community is super creative in this, yeah. And so if you have some ideas of names for the project, of visual approaches, if you are a designer, if you are a graphic designer, if you have skills in producing content, videos, because we will also need to create guides, we need to create blogs, we need to create little animated help how to do videos, how to do the vote. So there's a lot of work to do in this part also. And so even if you are not a coder and you are not a software developer, but you are good in marketing, you are good in visual design, you have a YouTube channel with 200,000 followers, please in touch with us, because we need these voices and we need to reach the people. And so if somebody has some good ideas for doing that, come up. We need every input.
Maybe we can ask the guy from Everything Tangle that makes these cool explanation videos for IOTA.
That's how's his name? I know who you mean. Yes.
I think it's David.
Yeah. That's what I said. We have a lot of skilled people, and we also will need to talk to, when we come closer to the vote. Maybe we talk to Chris Müller if he can feature and make it a topic in the Hello IOTA or the Einfach IOTA videos and stuff like this. We have Uncoined. We have a lot of cool and skilled people that do YouTube. We all need to get in touch with them and start creating stuff and start to get the word out. Yeah, we have a few groups on Twitter, and we have also, Linus already contacted me. Linus would like to write like a first introduction article, because his writing is amazing, and you see how much people he reaches in Reddit and with his articles. And so
yeah, he's
he will
done a good
also
job.
he will support the project and maybe write 2 articles for like the first introduction of like explaining and bringing the word out. And then when we have a more concrete final thing, he will also leverage this and do a nice write-up. So please, everybody, maybe governance, DAO, yesterday I said single treasury. So if somebody has some cool ideas of how we can call this project of creating this structure, because we still don't know if it will be a DAO, if it will be, so this is still something that the community has to decide on. But this ongoing building project that we're going to have hopefully in the next couple of months, maybe we can find some nice name for it and some nice branding and design, so that we have consistent output on social media and get the word out.
Yeah, and consistent messaging, right? So of all these things, all these venues for communicating and for the outreach, we're all going to be singing the same song. So
yes,
that's really important.
We can definitely coordinate it and just sort of pump out, because it'll be a need for a lot of education. People will wonder, and they need to know exactly what it is about, when they are going to do something, if they're going to do something, all those things.
Yeah, but like all from blogging to videos to any marketing communication on this, we just have to make sure they're all parroting the same message without a lot of deviation, because we can't get it. That'll just cause issues. So that's really important.
And I know we have a lot of people in the community that are professional in marketing and professional in brand design. And so I hope we can get a few of them to advise the community what would be the best approaches. But also, again, the IOTA Foundation is always happy to offer, again, knowledgeable and support. And we have a big comms team. We have Gunnar. I'm sure they all will be happy to help in the thinking and in the creation process of how the best approach will be. But we need the community to bring the word out. That's important, and we all have a lot of. I mean, we're doing it already with IOTA related stuff, but we also need to implement this information because it's still not really known to people, I think. Yes, everybody agrees.
Yeah, I thought maybe you cut out. Yeah.
No.
We're ready. We're ready. It's August. We're on vacation.
I know. You all want to go out. The sun is shining. Maybe do I have something else here? No, vote for the treasury. That's stuff like this. We can create some of those funny things and use all this kind of stuff to bring the vote out and bring the message out to the people and to the IOTA community to really start thinking about what cool things we can do with this funds. Yeah, who we can support. There's a billions great projects out there, thousands of people that do everyday cool things for IOTA. Doesn't need to be huge $55 million projects. Yeah, this treasury is cool for somebody like Linus. Yeah, he writes an amazing article. Community can decide, hey, great, here you have 500 me. That was just amazing work that you did in the last couple of weeks. And I think if we have a proper and nice voting system and an easy way of making proposals, things like this can be leveraged, and people can also be rewarded for the work that they put in their free time as a hobby into IOTA. But things like this are really, really valuable for creating community, creating like a great feeling of that we all have the same vision. And so as soon as we have this treasury fund available, we can spread and we can do so much cool things that IOTA or the foundation itself just cannot do in the moment. Yeah. So think about it and bring in some ideas.
I think it's also important, maybe at this point, to tell, like, for the people in this call, to, when you're in the other chat channels, even Spec and everywhere else that we go, talking about IOTA, and just start getting the word out that, hey, there is progress being made on this. That a vote is, we're going to be able to perhaps get there sooner than people think. We're not going to give any, just like the IF, we won't give any ETAs, but I think it's important that people realize that solid progress has been made in this area, and development work on building the initial system is about to begin. And just get that word out so people see that progress is being made that will be tangible soon, right? If you don't go to these meetings, you don't know what's going on. I think that's, I just think it's important we can start getting the word out, get some optimism going, right? That, hey, we're in charge of our own destiny. Let's start growing this thing and get the word out and be positive about it.
If you see how much we have achieved already, I mean, we all started really from zero scratch, and Chrysalis happened, and then they came this blog post, and we all were like, God, what's happening? Like, there is this token thing going on month time, and we started with completely nobody didn't know anything, and we continuously communicated all this time together, and there's like huge bunch of people involved. Yeah, not just the few people that talk here in the chat. We had really dozens and hundreds of people participating in creating all those ideas that we have now brought to papers and brought to flow charts and gonna implement into Firefly. And so this is really a super amazing project created out of the heads of the community. So we created a kind of a one IOTA community brain, and we are all kind of putting our parts into this. And in the end, we will have a beautiful voting plugin. We will have a secure and easy way to vote, whatever we like. Yeah. And if we get it done and we have this amounts of tokens available, we can decide what amazing things we can do with this. This is all just happening out of people start communicating and leveraging their ideas and envision what could be happened. And of course, we have input from amazing technical people here like Maxa and Werner and all the IF people. But altogether, this is happening, yeah. And it's soon we will be able to vote. And so that's like not just a few people. This is like a huge bunch of continuous brain power coming together here.
Yeah, I also think the progress here is really amazing. I just took a look when we started with this DAO discussion, and that was just 3 months ago. In May.
I think we started the GitHub repo. I think we opened it on 5th or 6th of May, and from this time on, we started with first in the other channels, and then we started in the Discord, in the GitHub discussions, and it's like, look what we have achieved already. Huh? And still now today, I don't know, still a lot of people in the call, even if it's summer and you all kind of should be in holiday and sit on the beach. But it's an interesting topic, and it's something really cool that's happening here. Yeah, so really kudos to everybody that contributed.
Well, especially you and Werner. So you guys have been heroes in this thing. Great work. So thanks.
Thanks, everybody. Does anybody have some open questions? Come up. I see a lot of some new people here. Don't be shy. We are here to explain everything and just talk about how amazing we are. So have some questions, have some input here, bring in some ideas. Okay. So maybe I talk a bit what are the next plans. So tomorrow we will have a meeting with the IOTA Foundation. Werner will be part of it. Greg will be part of it. Adam Unchained, and some people from the Firefly team, some people from the UX and UI design team. And we will sit together and clear up some technicals. Still some open questions about, but it's a lot of technical stuff, API usage and things like this. We are in the moment creating something similar that Werner has already done for the proposal format. So we're producing an RFC for the Firefly voting system. This will be then the basic technical documentation or the technical requirements for the team that builds. We'll push this to the IF, and we will have the IF checking everything so that everything is secure and the code is well and everything. And then as soon as we have this, we will really have a dedicated team working on coding this stuff. And we will, as soon as we have something tangible, hopefully be able to have also some test versions. Yeah, we can run it on the Chrysalis testnet, on the Comnet, have like a Firefly version for the testnet where we can start testing things out, testing the UI, testing the UX. And then, of course, also we'll still need some input on the node side. And no, there is one person that is very much our Hornet man. So we will try to get the Hornet team a little bit involved to create the plugin that counts the vote. But no pressure on this. First, we'll need to, I think, the most work is in the Firefly still. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I also think that's probably the thing that needs most testing because of user interaction, and if it's really understandable for everyone, also for people who are not deep into IOTA and how it works, I don't think it's...
Also, one thing I forgot.
Yeah, I also
we will
think
need translators. So
I
that's
think
the thing. If we we will use, of course, the translators that we had already for the Firefly. But so if you are speaking some cool languages, so have a look always in the Firefly translation channels. As soon as we have something, we will start to put out those things to be translated in as much as possible languages.
But the question is then, will the votes themselves also be translated? I mean, you will have several options to answer, and there will be a name of this vote and a description, and it has to be put into the in my opinion, it has to be put into the
proposal itself,
like the contract itself. Yeah, but this won't be possible. So I think the votes will be in English, I guess.
English, yeah.
Yeah,
English, maybe we can. Maybe we can get some. We can have anyway. We'll build maybe a Docosaurus website from the Git. Maybe we can have some translations on the website there, like for some common languages. That really depends on how many proposals. Like
I see this as a problem. This alone can be a bottleneck. I think you need to just think about every referendum, right? Every single proposal having to wait until a certain amount of translation. That won't ever. That can't. That's not a workable situation.
Oh no.
And also, we are trying to build a system that works generic, and then we suddenly have a centralized database for translations. That's not going to work.
Yeah, it doesn't work, and also I can't possibly tell if the translation just changed the meaning of another language, right?
That's difficult. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a problem, right? So
That's good to talk about. So we can maybe just really the Firefly front end, like the fixed design we have now. Also, this is possible to translate the buttons and stuff like this. But the proposals, we will definitely need to have it in English, and
there's no way around it.
Make it as easy, understandable again as possible. Yeah. So the questions. There's a lot of stuff then really to work out how exactly we define the questions and the options in easy understandable words. Yeah, depends a lot of the proposal, of course. Yeah, if we have complicated stuff, then it can't simplify everything.
Yeah. Maybe a question or a proposal from me. What about leaving the translations for the guy who or girl who makes the proposal? So we have just a system in place that if the person who wants to do a proposal, and if he wants to reach much more people, that he just gives a second or third language with it, and we can display it.
I don't know. I think that's a heavy burden. That's a heavy burden. I don't. It's hard enough to design a proposal and a technical requirement and do that.
Pushing too fast. I'm sorry to say, I think we're pushing too fast. I think we should go with one language first and then give out to the community for different versions. That will be the most apt way. If we rush, then we will give different versions out.
Yeah, good thing.
Yeah, we just stick with English in the beginning and let the process evolve. But that's just too onerous for people doing proposals. I mean, if you've ever put these things together, that would be a nightmare.
Yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's for the proposal writer, right?
Sorry.
Yeah,
no,
at the
I
end
think
of the day, it's for the
possibility. They don't have to do it.
So for me, it's at the end of the day, the proposal writer decides if there is a merit for them to, for example, translate it in German or not. Because at the end of the day, he is asking for votes, right? So he has a lobby for his proposal.
That part's cool, but I don't think you can demand it.
No, you shouldn't. You should not demand it.
Yeah,
exactly.
So I think it's...
But it can be open, yeah.
I think it's, of course, possible to say, like, for each of the fields where you have free text input into the proposal, that there's maybe like a syntax for where you can specify multiple languages.
Oh, I just got a great revenue stream creating idea for the DAO. It's proposal translation services for
Yeah, I also think it's not that not that much of a thing. We have Firefly translators already, and if we are doing big proposals from the community side, and we are really looking into pushing this forward, I think we will find a few translators from the crowd and the Firefly thing that will just assist us with that.
Maybe open like a channel extra for this, like in Discord, like open proposal translations or something like that.
Yes. That's a good. The good thing is, I mean, this is something. As long as we don't have the treasury running, because then there will be a lot of proposals coming. So for the building process itself, I envision not too much votes. Yeah, so there's maximum maybe once per month that we will have something to decide. So we'll still have a few months of time to think about what would be the best approach there. I will also have a look how others do this. I haven't seen in any project anything like this as far as I remember. So everything, especially all in Defi, all the things, this all only works in English. But of course, if you want to reach a special community with your proposal and you have the time and the skills to serve it in different languages, of course that's a good thing for you. And if you publish it in a kind of a forum or what we're going to have then, where the proposals will be discussed, it's a nice option for somebody that wants to gain more traction to deliver a few well done translations for the community. Yeah.
I can see it now. A new business has been created. proposals for hire.
Why not? If somebody from the
I don't think it's a
community
bad
is good
idea.
in
I mean,
it,
that's
yeah,
actually, it works. I mean,
it's really cool. Yeah. Again, a little business model related to IOTA. Yeah. So like, profit for everyone. Good. What else? Yeah, so let's next tomorrow we're gonna have the meeting, and next week we're gonna have some more updates, I think, on this front. Bring up more questions. If not, you may be okay with slowly closing down the stream, maybe. Yeah. So Werner.
Yeah, just make sure that I mean, anybody has any questions or are shy or just don't feel like they're comfortable speaking out loud because maybe they don't understand everything. Just put them in the governance channel and just throw them out there, or even ping Philo, or even I'm happy to answer questions, G-Man, if you guys don't feel comfortable with it.
Just write in the chat. You can also write it in the YouTube chat. I'm also having an eye on that.
Don't be shy. And like I said, I'll drop again we have the folder in the Google Drive where everything actually that we did in the last couple of months is collected there with different proposals, different ideas, different documents and stuff, research. It's a pinned message in the governance channel. So if you want to have a look on what happened in the last month and weeks, there's a lot of good information there. Also, we have the GitHub, the community GitHub, where we have all current information in the README file. Just go there. It's also pinned in the channel description, and you will get a lot of good information there. There's also the meeting notes of our last couple of meetings that I always put there. You can read up what you have missed maybe in the last weeks and months. And if questions arise, or you have some cool ideas, or you want to help in any way in this initiative, get in contact with G-Man, with me, with Werner, with anyone. Drop your ideas in the governance channel. This is why we have those channels, yeah? Open, discuss, and the more input we have, the better this system will be.
Okay, I'm not seeing any questions. If you if you like come to a question in the next hour or whenever, just write it into the governance discussion on Discord. And we are not always there, but we are there all the time.
Most of the time we are there.
Yeah, we monitor.
We are also multi-global. So we have Greg in US time zone, we have Werner and a lot of people in the European time zone, and me, I'm in Asian time zone. So actually, whenever you drop, you might be lucky that you get some live answers of the people involved here. Yeah. So I thank everybody for the official part of this talk. It was really nice to have so much people here in the middle of summer, and again shows there's a lot of interest and there's a lot of cool ideas I'm sure gonna happening. Like we already said, drop us questions, drop us ideas, and promote the vote. Yeah, tell your friends, tell everybody you know that holds IOTA that there is some cool stuff coming up in soon, like always. And thanks everybody. See you. You can also, if you're in the US, next Thursday we have the US governance call. No, the US meeting,
America's call.
Which America's call, which also sometimes turns into a bit of a governance.
Yeah, it does.
It's join there if you're from this time zone. It's really nice community there also. So from my side, see you next time. Thank you everybody very much.
All right, great job. Thanks, guys.
See you. Yo.
Great job.
Goodbye.